Hello, everyone. My name is Sunčica Milosavljević. I'm coming from the association Bazar, which is a partner within the project BR Art Infinity Radio, creating sound art for babies, toddlers, and vulnerable groups, which is a framework for the cycle of seminars or webinars, sound and music in child development. I have the privilege of welcoming you tonight to the fourth in our cycle of the seminars with the theme Developmental Guidelines in Creating Children's Encounters with the Arts. It will be presented in the interview that Professor Dr. Katarina Habe will lead with two outstanding experts from Ljubljana, Martina Peštaj, a media psychologist and the head of children's and youth programs on the Radio Television of Slovenia, and Ajda Ross, artistic director of Ljubljana Puppet Theatre. Dear Katarina, the Zoom floor is yours.
Thank you, Sunčica. I warmly welcome you all, especially our today's guests, Martina and Ajda. Welcome with us. So in the last webinar, we discussed the interconnection between music and cognitive and socio-emotional development. We highlighted the role of music in promoting holistic development in preschool child, especially in infants and toddlers. The beneficial effects of music on concrete cognitive functions such as attention and concentration, memory, literacy, intelligence on one hand, and on socio-emotional competencies such as emotional self-regulation, empathy, self-esteem, cooperation with others, etc., were presented. Today, we move forward with this theme, bringing the importance of cognitive and socio-emotional development into the practice, specifically regarding TV programs and puppet theater program for infants and toddlers. So I'm very happy to have you here, Martinka and Ajda. I'm going to introduce you first, and then we're going to start our conversation. Martina Peštaj is a head of children's and youth program at RTV Slovenia, where she has worked for a number of years as a creator, editor, and scriptwriter. She is a selector for foreign animation and live action series for children. As a media psychologist and TV expert, she regularly collaborates with the Slovenian Ministry of Culture and Ministry of Education on various cultural and art programs in the field of media education. She gives lectures about children, TV, film, and internet, publishes articles, and participates in research projects. Ajda Ross is the artistic director of Ljubljana Puppet Theatre. Her artistic vision is the theatre's program has led to international expansion and contributed to acclaimed productions that received many national and international awards. The theater partly shifted its creative focus to producing experimental production that enrich and intertwine with puppet theater medium with other artistic fields. Her contribution ranges from cultivating the established marionette tradition to opening the door for contemporary problem plays for youth. In the last decade, the theater has specialized in new trends, merging different genres of art and applying new materials and technologies to puppetry. She is the chief editor of the International Professional Magazine of Puppetry Art and the Theater of Animated Forms Lutka, and the co-author of the permanent exhibition of the Ljubljana Museum of Puppetry. So, Martina, I'm going to start with you. Since you also have a master's in developmental psychology, what is your opinion? How aware are creators of TV programs for infants and toddlers of their developmental characteristics? Do they think about it? I know you think a lot about it, but what about the others?
Oh yes, they do. They do. The truth is that almost every children's and youth program around the world has at least one media psychologist who is working inside the company, just to give, to talk about the developmental needs of children of specific age group. And then when the creators create shows, they're very much following these instructions. But the truth is, I have to say, it's quite a tough subject because, television is a little bit of somehow, everybody is watching it, but everybody also talks that children shouldn't watch it too early. So I know that many pediatric societies through the world, they noted that children under the age of 2 shouldn't watch at least not a lot of television. So I know that they're trying, our pediatrician in Slovenia, they are trying to do something like this also. But this kind of informations are already known from America, from other countries for a longer time. So talking about television for babies, it's a little bit, but everybody knows that there are programs for babies and that there are programs for toddlers. And my opinion is, as I'm working with television for so many years, and this is my love in my life, I believe that if television is really very precisely and creatively made and very well structured for a specific age group, it does have a really good influences, not only bad. So we can talk later, but I think more and more people are really aware to think about this.
Thank you, Martina. Ajda, how do you comment on Martina's words? Do you recognize the same trend in puppet theater? And I'm wondering, what is the youngest audience in Ljubljana's puppet theater?
Yeah, we are a little bit in a better position because usually babies and toddlers come to the theaters with the parents who accompanies the older children. So they come to the theater, they are watching the show. So I think 30 years ago, there then started the development of the theater for babies and for toddlers. And the youngest, you asked me for the youngest, it's probably 1 month, 2 months. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they come very early. And the theater, it's in better position, yeah, according to the television.
So if 1 or 2 month old children come to puppet theater, so we can say that this sound environment and these sound effects are especially important, aren't they?
Of course it is. I can explain it later a little bit more about it because I have prepared a lot of things about the theater for babies. But now I'm talking about the babies who comes with parents and they watch the performances which are maybe 3, 5, 6, 7 plus. Sometimes they watch, sometimes they don't, but it's important for them to feel safe space to be in the cuddle of their parents.
Mm-hmm. So this is now a question for you both, for the beginning to warm up. One really general and very populistic question. What kind of shows, either TV or either theater, do infants and toddlers like? For me, it's the same. Who will start, Martina or Ajda?
Should I, Ajda?
It's okay, yes.
Okay, it's fine. I think the most important thing is short ones, because their attention is very short and they hardly control it, so it has to be really, and also...
What does this mean? Short? What is short for a child?
It really depends from a child to a child, but I think like for toddlers, I'm talking about the toddlers because, you know, babies are really a different watcher. For toddlers, is half an hour is already of attention. It's already a lot. So we will later talk about Teletubbies, I know, and this is really a good example how do these things work for toddlers. But I think, you know, like very short clips and very linear, like the such small children cannot really understand the typical structure of the story, you know, the dramaturgy. So like they have to see it really very simple, very linear. And as Ajda said, they have to feel also when they're watching programs from television, they have to feel that they are secure. They have to feel emotional secure, you know, that they are not afraid, that they are not upset. All these things has to be. And of course, with this kind of small children, you know, a lot of like voices, a lot of drawings, a lot of colors, a lot of repetition. They like these kind of things. Objects which they can relate to something from their neighborhood, so something very familiar to them. So these kinds of programs they are really like to watch.
And you emphasized, and you know, you talk a lot about it, how important is this interaction parent-child, not only in preschool children, but even in early school years, to communicate with the child, to be there, not just to put a child in front of a screen, but to be there with the child, to kind of interact with child when watching. Isn't it so?
I think this is the most important thing. The most important thing by watching television is this. And this is something what, you know, it's really sometimes hard to tell to adults, because television is something where they can take their time off, you know, to put child in front of the screen and they can do something others. I know this, I'm doing the same, you know, so everybody is doing it, I know it. But if we take television as an activity, which is one of very nice activities like reading, drawing, playing with children, going outside, and also television, which get us together and make a special connection between a mother or father and a child, and they can discuss, they can watch, they can learn from each other and from the program. I think this is the most important thing. So I'm always saying to parents, yes, of course, you can use these kind of programs, but you have to select it very carefully what the children do watch, you know. But when you take your time to spend it together in front of the screen with the child, this will really enrich your knowledge about the child, about his emotional development, you know, cognitive development, about everything. Yes.
And I do recall that, was it in Animateca videos, that there was a line what to discuss about with children. Was it? Am I right?
Yeah, I can expect it maybe later. Maybe Ajda can add now some things about the shows for small children. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. I have one few photos. Maybe I can explain with them. It would be easier to explain what could be the good show, because usually the performance in our theater, not in our theater, but usually in the the theater for children, the place is usually divided on the stage and the place for the audience. So I think that the most important when we make performances for babies and for toddlers is the knowledge that it's good that the place, that they can join the place together with the actors. So I will show, I will just give me a few seconds that I prepare myself. The place for the performances for babies and toddlers, it's really important. It has to be safe, it has to be with nice colors, it has to be soft and gentle. So here we can see where the babies and the actors, the dancers are together. Those photos, most of those photos are from Dalia Cintelander. She's very well-known choreographer who's very, she really made a huge development on how to make the performances for babies and toddlers. So it's so we can see that the security, as Martina mentioned as well, it's really, really important. And it's important that usually when we make performances for babies and for very small children, for them who come, which is the first time that they come to the theater, it's the first time when they are, they can see this combination of art, of music, literature, dance, sometimes also new medias, visual art. So that's why the puppetry and it's so important for small children. And now I lost my my red line. So I wanted to say that it's important that we inform parents how to involve to the performance, because it's really important that they feel safe, they feel secure, that they don't push babies and children, that they let them to be because the performance, it's not just in the central place, it's all around. So it's important that they don't say, look, it's there, because they can be free what they want to watch, what they if they want to talk, if they want to walk or crawl. So it's important for them to be safe, and the performances are really nice when they have the possibility to come and go. If the child is not feeling safe, that they can take him out, that they can walk around and come back. So she really, usually the performances are 30 minutes long. As Martina said, that this is also good time for TV shows, but she was really clever, and she made performances for 4 or 6 hours long, and it means that they can come and go whenever they want, and there is really free interaction, and yeah, the objects are really important, that they are also soft, and that they can explore, that they can touch. For babies and toddlers, maybe I can show later one video. It's very important that they are very curious. They'd like to explore. So in our theater, we have quite the most performances where they have to sit. We are not so free yet, where they can go around, explore, search the things. So, and usually on the space there are a lot of organic
materials.
Materials. Yeah, nice for their oh goodness, just to touch them and to put them closer. So the music, it's very important. So here we can see, yeah, this is between the performance. This is also very interesting. Maybe now I went too far, but she also made the performance. It's an opera for babies from, I don't know, 3 months till 18 months. So it's the performance with opera singers, dancers. It was made in Sweden. So we can see the children feel really safe. Yeah, and as I said, it's important that they have a place to explore the material. Yeah, sometimes it's good that we a little bit challenge the aesthetics that we predict that it's for babies. And it also works really nicely. We have to be brave and just explore. And so here we can have one, yeah. So.
Oh, great. I wasn't aware that so many things are going on for so small children. I'm amazed.
Yes, yes, and it's quite a lot. It's quite good field, and it's usually they try to offer a lot of different kind for their senses, for exploring the senses, because television doesn't have this possibility, but theater has maybe lavender oil, or the light can make really a lot of changes. Different kind of materials. As I said, it's important for them that triggers their curiosity, and that the performance can encourage them to explore. And as Martina said, for a TV show, it's really important the security of the parent. How is he involved? And the theater can also open very nice space for new way of bonding between them. So yeah.
It's great. I'm just thinking, because child is in sensory motor stage, how this is the best way to encourage children to explore their environment through the arts all the time. It's amazing, actually. Great.
Theater really has this strong motivation, and it's the people who works in theater. We are aware that we don't make just people. Today's babies are our future society, and this is really important because with the performances we can sensibilize them really a lot. So yeah,
I'm gonna address one question to you now. Do the toddlers think that they could be in or are in the theater when they are not with parents? Do the toddlers think that they could be in or are in theater when they are not with their parents?
No, we have few performances. Maybe I can show later the trailer. I can stop this. Okay. Which we wanted to invite toddlers also with teachers, but it's really important for so small children. It's important. The safety, the security is much more important. So if they come to the place which is not known for them, it's a first shock. Martina can tell us much more about it, but if they're in groups, usually it better works if the performance comes to their place.
Yeah. So do you go many times also to kindergartens and have shows there or not?
No, our theater not so much, because we are really big. I also have prepared some presentation of our theater, but maybe it's not time to use it. Our theater, we have 6 stages and 24 members of artistic ensemble. We also have our own atelier when we make puppets and costume and set. So we really have a lot of own place, and it's important that they come to the theater, that they have this feeling of special place where it's something very with really deep touch made for them. So the lights, the sounds, because the sound, I can also talk later a little bit about the music for children. It's really important because it has possibility in theater that comes from different part of maybe from down, from up, that it's all around. It can be a really completely different experience. I would also, because we are so connected to sound and music, I could also tell that you ask what kind of performances children like. Babies really like when the music is alive, where you have possibility to play it in stage, and we are really aware of it. And maybe I will give later in a few seconds also the opportunity for Martina, but maybe here I can also show one trailer of one of our performance, which was really made for babies and also for toddlers. And it was made by Zvezdana Novaković. She's really well-known musician from Slovenia, and she was really exploring a lot the field, the music field for babies. And you can see her as well here in this trailer. I just
do not forget to share sound also.
I hope, because it doesn't ask me to share it, so
maybe it's automatically.
It will do it. Yeah. Okay. It's here. Okay. I will share it. Okay. Let's see it, and then I will give the word to Martina. That's her. So here we can see that babies, toddlers really like the simple instruments, xylophone, bells, and harp.
Ya ding dong, ya ding dong, ya ding dong, clean, clean, ya ding dong, clean, din, 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 din.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ajda. So let's skip back to television. Martina, I still remember when Teletubbies came on Slovene television, I was shocked. I was thinking, what a stupid TV show is that? I was actually making fun of it. In my defense, at that time, I still didn't have my own children yet, but that was actually a phenomenon. Could you explain to us what was the secret of Teletubbies and why this show was so revolutionary and loved by infants and toddlers?
It's really so hard to talk about Teletubbies after this Ajda's performance. This is art and we are making content. That's true, that we cannot go others. Yes, but I have very special story with Teletubbies, and when I was thinking about them, I realized that they actually put they really built my way, because when it's like 20 years ago, they came to the world and I was just starting my way, and we bought it. And as you thought, it's what a crazy idea this is. I was working on them. This was my first project in children's program, and I was actually dubbing the stories with real children which came out of the Tubbies. So it was really long-lasting project. But of course, I was exploring the animation, the Teletubbies project, and this was actually the first program in the history of TV where all the different occupations like media psychologists, pedagogists, teachers, kindergarten teachers, parents, they came together. The creative team put all these people together to really build something for babies and toddlers. And it was the first show which was really very precisely made for a really small age group. It's from 1 to 3 years old. And if you're watching it with a kid, you can really see that the real interest of a child is in this age group. Of course, all the children can watch it, and then make fun of it and so on. But the real small group is 1 to 3. And all the things which are going on in Teletubbies are actually coming out of psychology, what we have been talking about, like, a lot of repetition, everything very slowly, very linear, nothing is really happening, so very simple language, but it's not a childish language, it's a language which children speak at this age, so we went to the kindergartens and we talked to kindergarten teachers, and we asked them to name us the phrases which children use, so we can really translate it, not only translate, but to remake it in Slovenian language, so really to come close to children. And it was really fun, because many people were asking me, like, you think, what a stupid thing it was, and why is it repeating, maybe people who are watching us today, they remember that the story from the belly where the real children are like a small docus came out. It's always repeated twice, and they were asking me, are we stupid or what? Why do we watch it twice? And it's a very simple answer, because it's for such a small children, and it was actually the most energetic thing of all the programs. So children, when they first were watching it, it was really, very, very a lot of happening in it, and they couldn't really perceive everything. And then after the end, they will always say more, and there was more. Once again, oh, okay, that was fun. They know already something. They can really put their attention or some other things. So everything was really intentionally. And after this project, it was it was debated a lot on all the congresses, festivals. It was really a shock for everybody. But we agreed, everybody agreed that it was really revolutionary. And after this, after Teletubbies, almost every program for children, for such small children, has an analysis around it, like when the producers are creating, because mostly the creators are artists, like animators and poets and, I don't know, writers and so on, script writers. And they always get somebody who can make analysis before giving it till the end, to the final touch. So it is really made for children. And afterwards, also baby TV came, taking all these lectures from Teletubbies, and many more children programs, also for older children. It's not only for toddlers who are a very special age group, but if you're making program for I don't know, for schoolers from 1st to 3rd grade, it's already a very special group. Or if you're making for a little bit older, like 9 to 12 is the other group, you know. So you have really you really have to be careful. And I know I have really nice experience shortly after this story with Teletubbies. I had the possibility to spend 2 weeks in America in one of the best producing houses for animation. It was small, but really very good. And they really took great care for making things really for children. And I remember that before they went to the final touch of animation, when they have all these storybooks, there was an expert, Dr. Laura Brown, who was working all around the America for all the children programs. And she was talking to groups of children, explaining them a story, reading them lines, singing them songs. So she could notice that they understand everything. And then she made this special report, and afterwards they were finishing the animation. And this colleague of mine who was leading this studio, he said always, I prefer to give more money to this analysis, and then I know that on the end everything will be perfect, than to make it and then on the end to recognize that it doesn't come directly to children. Mm-hmm. And if I may also say, this is my very special experience with Teletubbies. You know, I was always starting my lectures giving to students students who wanted to be teachers and kindergarten teachers. And we were always starting to talk firstly about Teletubbies. And when I started 20 years ago, it was always the same reaction by adults, you know, like, oh my God, Teletubbies, why about this? And then I explained them why they should watch it from not from their point of view, but from the child's point of view. You know, they should watch it together with a child, not like an adult. And of course, you can think they're stupid. And I watched 90 episodes of half hour. I have like Teletubbies over my head, you know, but still I know that they're really good for children. And then all suddenly, you know, in a couple of years, I don't know, maybe like 14, 13 years ago, I started one lecture in the same way, like with Teletubbies, and the young students in the class, they were like, oh yes, Teletubbies. And it was, you know, complete change in their feedback. And I was thinking, what's wrong here? And then I realized this was the first generation of children who were watching Teletubbies, you know, and they knew it from their own experience, and it was coming from their heart, like, oh yes, we know it. It was so fun. It was so lovely. And then I know, yeah, that's true. That's this magic of Teletubbies. Yes.
Oh, great. Okay, Taida, how do you choose developmentally appropriate program for infants and toddlers? Is the decision left to you or the director of the show? Or is it interaction in between you and them?
Yeah, the best result is interaction always. Yeah, it's really, I have a lot of different ways of making the program, because I have to make 12 premieres per year, and it's from babies. So we have, for example, one performance for babies, one puppet performance for adults, one from our history, because we have really long history. It's more than 70 years of our theater. Then have one performance for teenagers, and most of them are then from 3 till 8 years old. So sometimes I read really nice book, and then I have a feeling, okay, this director can make really great performance. The other time, the director comes to me and said, okay, Ajda, this is really, really great book, or maybe I have really nice my own story that I would like to explore and that I would like to bring to the audience. And we are quite well-known theater because we make quite a lot of performances on problematic subjects. I don't know the word, it's taboo themes. So we make quite a lot of performances about death, divorce for young, for very small children as well, how to lose maybe a pet or, at that performances, we always invite experts. Sometimes we invite Martina, and it's really important that the director has a deeper knowledge or deeper feeling for the theme that he explore. And it's always important. On one way, it's important the aesthetic of the performing art, if there is anything to explore. On the other hand, it's also important, it's very important, the theme. So it's, yeah, these are the ways, a lot of different ways. Yeah.
So, Martina, how about TV? How are you selecting cartoons? When are you are selecting cartoons for infants and toddlers? Which are the elements that you're most aware of? What's your selection criteria?
Yeah. In common, I have three most important selection criteria, and it's really high quality all together, you know, like a package. And it has all the values we would like to share with children, you know, like, I don't know, friendship, family, kindness, health, whatever. And that it's really well made in animation style, because I believe that aesthetics is really important in this age group, because it's building, you know, it's growing. So it's important to give children the possibility to see different kind of aesthetics. It's just the same like Ajda, I think, you know, to bring different styles of puppets. This is the same. I'm trying to get not only a 3D computer animation, but also 2D or stop animation, you know, with puppets and so on. So because I believe the child can decide it afterwards if he or she likes it or not, and afterwards he could be really a critical viewer, you know, of animation. So these are all my important views. And when I'm especially looking for something for smaller children, for toddlers, for example, then I really take care that it's short, that it's really gentle, that it has somehow of the content is very known to children, you know, like very, very simple. And the most known example for animation for small children is Peppa Pig, you know. It's really very simple, but the stories are really nice, and they come just directly to the child. And there is, you know, a family, there are some friends, there is a kindergarten and the fireman, and that's all what children at that age need and know, and they feel really, really nice with it. Then they can watch, you know, whatever the story is bringing to them. So I'm trying to get as much as different, you know, so that the children can really find something what they like.
Great. I had one other question, but my child came to the room now, so he was a little distracted, and that's like very normal, interacting all the time. So my question went away. Oh, I know. About language in these cartoons. I noticed that many times in these cartoons or shows for small children, you don't use actually this symbolic language, but more like intonation, as let's say, but this is for older. How do you say? Sheep, yawn. How do you say?
Shaun the Sheep.
Shaun the Sheep,
Yeah.
let's say. This is one cartoon that actually works for all the generations. It's not for the smaller one, but actually it's not with language, but anyone can understand it. But could you address this question to smaller children? When to use words, or when just to use sounds? more like music language.
Yeah, thank you. You remind me of very, very important and special thing in regarding with animation for small children. Yes, it could be, because the stories are so simple, there are usually not so many voices, or even there is only a narrator. It's like somebody who is telling a story, and this is why it's so important that you really take care of a language, so mostly we are buying foreign animation, so we have to dub it, and we are really trying to get the best actors to make these dubbings, because you and me and everybody knows that it's the most important, one of the most important developmental developments is also the language development, and it's really important that the children get to their ears, really nice language as well, interpretation. So when there is only one narrator, it's even more important, that he really or she really makes it, like very strongly and emotional in everything. And yes, as you said, many times the producers, the creators are playing only with some noises, with some voices, with some music. It's a very special field to make animation for really small children. And I'm always like, when I'm going abroad, when I was going abroad before the epidemic, I was always, wondering whether there still will be enough space and money and ideas for really high quality programs for small children, because, animation, it's a huge place. You can get whatever you want on the market. And I was always, and this was my 20 years, I'm always, every year I was wondering whether it will still be there something for me, for us, for our children or not. And then I'm always so happy that I can see that there are still, very, very creative people who do believe in this special soul of children, and they are preparing, programs for really small children, and they're playing with music, with voices, with words and everything. So yeah, this is very special thing, how to build a program for small children. There was a question about Shaun the Sheep. I saw, maybe
it's actually a comment.
Yeah, exactly. Shaun the Sheep is, as Katarina said, this is all age animation, and that kind of animation you cannot find really very often. It's one of the sort, really. And you can see it when you the most funny thing is when you watch Shaun the Sheep together with some children which are at different age, so you can really see how the humor gets to them on a different level. So this is the funniest thing. And yes, I know we also have Timmy Time. This is for small children. They put the little sheep Timmy and make like a spin-off series about the kindergarten children, and it's also without narration. And I really admire these producers who can really express all these, all these emotions and thoughts and everything without words. I think it's even harder, to show everything, not to describe or explain everything.
For me, it's easier. I can connect to this closely.
Yeah.
So, since our topic is connected to sound and music, how important, we already addressed this question a little bit, but how important is audio element in selecting or creating shows for infants and toddlers? Are you more aware of the visual or more aware or also of this auditive element? So what kind of sound they prefer, what catches their attention? Ajda already talked a little bit about it, so could you explain a little bit further, Ajda, and then also Martina?
Yeah, of course, and I will also continue what Martina said, that it's really nice to hear very nice language also on the stage. But when we make puppet performances, we usually know those traditional techniques like marionettes, shadow puppets, hand puppets, table puppets. But the exploration and pushing the boundaries of puppetry goes much more further. So the visual, it's really important in the puppet theater, and it's also very important when we make performances for small children. And I will just show our latest performance, Sandpit. It's where and then Katarina, I will answer you the question about music. It's the performance of exploration of sand, which is really children know the sand from their playgrounds. So here, how the sand can be the part of the theater. So it's because the theaters are closed in Slovenia, we don't have possibility to invite children now to our stages. And this is really our latest performance. I think it's 3 weeks ago was made. So I have now the opportunity to show just few minutes. And yeah. Okay, I have to share, of course. It's here. Share. Yes, this was performance for 4 or 5 years old. It's completely without words. Everything is set between the lines and with music, and also with the silence in the theater. It's really important. It always has special meaning. So it's nice when you can just hear the sound of sand, the sound of breathing, the sound of, I don't know, tapping. But when you make the performances for really babies, you have to be really aware of the sound, because they can, if there is a quick movement or something really quick or loud, it can be disaster for their first experience. So as I said before, yeah, they like soft, gentle instruments, harp, guitar, bells, xylophone, and it's important. Today I talked to Zvezdana, and she said as much pentatonics as possible, not too much dissonance. She also tell me that the percussion can be really nice on the stage, because it's important for them to see how the sound vibrating through their body. It's really important for them to feel the sound. She also said as much acoustic as possible. And she also thinks that it's good that babies can have the possibility to have instruments in their hand, also in their mouth, to explore the music and the sound through their how to say, yeah, from mouth. And it's really important the response of their parents, because they usually repeat what they do, and it's important that the parents I don't know, that they have child in the hand and
move with the music.
Yeah, move with the music. Because in theater they have this possibility that they can explore. I talk really for small children and for babies, that they can explore the theater from all their senses and from body, because it's important that they can have possibility to go somewhere, to touch something. And but I also talked about it when we talked about the aesthetics. So before we go on to Martina, I will just show one video if it's possible, or is it boring to see?
No,
It's
great.
It's beautiful, Ajda.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, I will, okay, maybe here I have, it's not so easy for me. Okay, I will try with this one. It's also this Alice Dalia Acindalander, as I already introduced her. So it's here. So I think that this performance was made just for babies who can't walk, that they are so small that they can be just they can just with their parents or just grow up. Okay, this is one example, and now I would just like to show another. This is the performance from Belgium. It's Beat the Drum, and it's a music theater production which creates a percussionist and saxophonist and a puppeteer. And I would like to show this performance because it's the improvisation, and
Right.
for very small, and it's really nice. I just hope that it's not too long. No, it's not. It's 1 minute. And okay. Yeah, so these were two answers on your questions.
Great. How many things are going on? Wow, amazing. And the role improvisation, which is so important to develop child's creativity. That's perfect. In this involvement in real, with musicians. Wow, I'm amazed. Yoo-hoo!
Yes.
I have one question from Q&As before we go to Martinka, because it's connected to the things you were talking about, Ajda. Did you have any experience with body music and body percussion in theater for children, or workshops of body music for children? This is a question from Anna Verbashki.
Any experience from I didn't have it, but Zvezdana had a lot. So yeah, she has also those workshops with babies and with small children, workshops for their parents. So and yeah, she works a lot with that they have all drums that they can that the parents have. So, but me not so many experiences. No.
But you do this in your theater.
Yes, we do. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But me as an artistic director, I don't have so much connects with exploring. So I work in quite boring with white in my office. Of course, I go to around to see stages and rehearsals, but yeah, I wasn't there when they were exploring those things.
Thank you, Ajda. So, Martina, what about sound and music in programs for children?
Yeah, we also believe that it's really important, and we are trying to invite musicians who are really willingly to work for small children, and we try to make songs for them which they can use in everyday life, so they get really to their ears. And I have one example, really nice, where we did put together, there is on Radio Slovenia is a good night story going on for, I don't know, over 30 or even 40 years. I don't know. And there is a music which is always the same, and I think you can remember it as a child listening to it, and still nowadays our children are listening to it. And we create now a TV show out of this radio program. So we connect, so they make a story on the radio, and then we make it as television forum, and we use the same music, so the children, I believe they can, connect, that they know it from the radio, and this music, this special music brings a story to them, and then a television show is bringing also the story to them. So I think this is also one good example how to get closer to children. Maybe Ajda showed so many beautiful things. I had prepared. I prepared also some of them, but they are different, But I can show you this one short trailer for this program, Little Bees. We named it, where the actors were telling the stories in television form. They were telling it to a puppet, because a puppet is also very connected to small children. So we put together all these elements, like puppet, like special music, like very good actors who were really talking with a nice language. So I can show you this just to get the impression, but it's in Slovenian language, so it's not without words, and it's not subtitled, just to get a feeling. Okay. Is it work? Do you see it? Okay.
Čebilico bova prebrala danes. Zgodbe iz zbirke v ponedeljek ob 18:05 na Prvem.
So this was a program which was also promoting reading for children, for small children. It can be used for toddlers and also for all the preschool children.
And I do not know, Martina, if this was in combination with you, but my little one, my at that time 7-year-old son, and me noticed that there were some stories with saxophone playing, like improvising, like in combination with story, and I was really interested in how they used also music improvisation for doing sound background, music background for a story. Was that also connected to this program?
Was it animation, or was it live action, like a normal show with hosts and puppets and so on?
I heard it on the radio, actually.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. We have to think about it.
Yeah.
And then if I may show you something others, this is our special show which is made for preschool children, and I know that toddlers already watch it. It's a studio Crisscross, where also the puppets are, and the live host who is working with these puppets. And there are also, we are so lucky, we have a special young, very talented musician who is writing short songs for us. And these songs are really repeating in every program. So actually, I know that when you came to the kindergarten group, you can hear it when the children are singing it, So this is also one. I will show you just one. And yes, I have to tell that as Ajda said, Ajda has this beautiful possibility, to work with all these actors, with all these creators, and we, on the other hand, we are trying to put as much children in our programs, because I do believe that when you are working for children, you have to work with children, So we are really putting them in their natural environments, making all kinds of stuff. So the viewers can really connect to them and feel them, and then they are aware that they are just like them, So it's really, I believe that these shows could be really inspiring for all kinds of children, and this is one of them, the combination, as I said, of puppets, of little short documentary inserts with small children, and the music, which is like light motto going through the show.
Dobrodošli nazaj, prijatelji. Odkrivam se skupaj s prijatelji. Priključi se nam tudi ti. Križ, kraž, svet je naš. V soboto ob 8 na Prvem.
Okay, this is from my side.
Great, thank you, Martina. Thank you both for all this rich experience and knowledge from creating for small children. Do you have anything more to share with us? Otherwise, we're gonna have time now for some more questions. We answered some questions in between, but now we still have some time to to answer some of the questions if there are any. Okay, Ajda.
Yeah, I would just like to show one trailer more, because it's important, because it's for 3+, and the performance was made by Matthias Solzer, who really also, it's really good in combination of animation, rhythm, of materials. And at that performance, he was researching the field of puppetry, and also yoik, Sami music. Yoik, it's do you know yoik? I don't know how it's. I think it's English. It's Sami on the north of Scandinavia. People who are singing. It's very special voice singing, and it's usually connected to indigenous and also they express their feelings through those yoic songs. When you hear it, you will know what I mean. It's short, and this would be, I hope, the last video from me, because I know that we have to open the place for questions and answers. Okay.
Jojk! Jojk! A gremo? A gremo naprej?
Yeah, so here we can see that also puppets from paper can play instruments, and it's everything done in live with voices and their skills, music skills. Okay, so.
Yeah, I noticed one thing that I was talking the last time about the importance of high frequencies for developing high brain functions. And I see that this is actually in every show you have there is a lot of instruments with these high frequencies. There is a lot of this active involvement for children also, which really makes me totally happy, because this actually encourages either cognitive, either social emotional, either motor development, you know. So everything is actually there. So I'm totally grateful to you both that you are bringing all of these things into child's program, either in theater, either on television. So thank you. Do we have any questions? No? All the questions. This time I did it a little bit differently. I was asking you in between, because questions came connected to the themes you were talking about. So what would then I'm gonna ask something more, because we still have some time. If there are any questions, please, you can write them. Now it's time for you, not just for me to talk to our guests, to ask them something. But Martina, could you tell us what was the most famous show, author show that you did for these preschool children on your television? Could you point out one question?
Actually, for you know, for toddlers, we have mostly really animation, but for common, like preschool children, we were always making things somehow together, connected with puppets. Now I show you the studio crisscross, and once Ajda remembers really well. Ajda was our host of one really important show. It's Bine, the rabbit, the little bunny. So it was also one very famous show where Ajda was a girl who was talking to this bunny, and it was also, as I remember, Ajda, you were talking about all kind of topics, and the music was inside also. Somehow it was the song in the opening songs are really the most important thing, I think, in the production for children, because you know, children are really very critical viewers, and if they hear the known music, they are just right on deciding whether they will watch or they won't watch. You know, it's really the opening songs are really the most important thing, and I can see it when the creators are making animation, the opening songs are always the most, the most funny and engaging part of the program. So, and I know, Ajda, that the Bine songs, the children are still singing around. They're still knowing it. So yeah, it gives us really nice memories about it. There is a question.
Yeah, we have a question from Sunčica for both guests. What developmental objectives do you aim to achieve with your work in your institutions? Do you have it formulated? Do you have concrete goals, or how is it with this?
Yeah, probably we have them, but for me it's most important to develop children imagination. I think it's their own creativity, because I think that the creativity is one of the most essential languages or needs for us. And if we can give the space for children to be creative, they can be also creative adults, which is very important today. In this kind of world where we are, you have to be creative, and you have to be open-minded. So yeah, the creativity for me is probably the top goal.
Thank you, Ajda. How about you, Martina?
Yeah, and for us is the most important thing that we inspire kids. I do believe that so once in the past it was like a good show where the children could learn out of it, learn by fun. It was said, but nowadays they don't talk about these teachings through the shows, because I and all the experts do believe that when the program is interested, when it's really carefully made for a specific age group, there is always something what children will learn out of it. Maybe it's not something that we want to they learn, but children do take always something out of it, and there is always an educational experience for them. But we don't want to be educational, like telling children, showing children in this educational way. So my main motto is to put children in the center. In almost all our programs there are children inside, like hosts, like in documentaries, like whatever, because I think it's really important to give our viewers the feeling that they are just that they can be as they are, and that they are perfect, and they like to watch children which are doing different things. And I don't really like these shows like talent shows where the children are of course it's really, we are always showing some children which have some special talents or some special interests or whatever, but we are trying to put on the screen really just a normal kids which want to inspire other kids with some things. And I do believe this is in these times it is really important to give children like relaxation, inspiration, also the fantasy, as Ajda said, all these things, and then they got through it really different kind of knowledges. As with television, with all the web things and everything, the world is so close now. Children can see what we couldn't see never. What every kind of animal, every kind of occupation, whatever they want, they really can see it on a screen. And it's really important that they get it right way, that we are talking to children in a way that it's really appropriate for them. For example, we have also kids news, which are already going on for 10 years. And this was also a very special project. We were learning how to do news for children in age from 10 to 12. It's not preschool children, but just to tell the example, to give them really a clear news that are coming from outside world, but in a way that they could understand, they could connect, and that they are not afraid, you know. So, and in every show, as I said on the beginning, we always on the beginning, we said the age group, we said what are the specifics of these age groups, how we can come closer to them, and what kind of elements do we use in a show. And this is the most important thing for us when creating a program for children.
Thank you, Martina. Now we have quite a lot of questions. So what is more cherished, movement, motion, or sound in theater for kids, of course? Is stronger? What or which is stronger for getting on? Motion, movement, or sound?
Yeah, depends on their age. I think that for babies, it's really important the sound and the movement. And when they are a little bit older, you can bring them also other parts. Yeah, it's maybe I'm too short to answer this question, because I'm thinking when Martina was answering the question, I was thinking all the time that we can't the theaters, we can't compete with television, and we are now, because the theaters are closed, we are in this position that we have to put, we don't do it very often, but we put some performances on website, and I think it really, they're losing their essence. Mm-hmm. So it's difficult because those TV shows are made for this format. Our mm-hmm. performances are made for live interaction. Mm-hmm. So it's really important that we can give the possibility that children can come back as soon as possible. It's also important for them, but it's not the COVID theme, it's not the topic of this panel. So and here is do sometimes work closely with teachers or social workers on defining the needs of the young audience, and then produce a show. We are in strong connection with all of them, and some performances, if the theme needs some experts, and then we explore deeper, and also when the performance is done, we made some suggestions and suggestions how to prepare children for the shows, and also reflections and how they can I can't find the word, but how can they combine the performance with their work in schools or kindergartens, and also those pedagogical materials we prepare with them. So,
Thank you, Ajda. And now one question for Martina. How often are new songs for children made and presented on TV? I have hard time finding music suitable for my kids.
I agree. Not so many times as we wanted to. You know, Katarina, that we are talking about the high quality program about music or with kids, with children's songs on TV for a long time, but there is always not enough, I don't know, money. I think the money is the problem, not the willingness or the idea or whatever. But we are all the time, you know, like trying. We have now a really special situation. When we started in autumn, we started a show we created a show, a live show every Saturday morning, live show for all the kids. And then we decided all suddenly that we should have it also for smaller children, for preschool children. So we have it like as Zofka. It's the name of the show, and the idea was we should sing in the show because we know the children do like the songs, and all came really more like by inspiration, because one of the hosts, a young actor, is singing so well, and he's also making some of his own songs. And then we started just to make the new version of what is it called? Narodne pesmi, Katarina, of folk songs.
Folk songs.
Yeah, of folk songs. The editor is making a new words for old, very well-known folk songs, and then we are then we are singing it in the program and putting also on YouTube the videos with these actors playing in these songs. And this is like, very. I would have it more. I would prefer to have it really more like, like a professional idea to create it and to build it and to bring it on the screen. And I do believe it will come one day. But for now, we are making like this. And there is a question about repetition. I can see it. I think the younger the child is, the more repetitions he can take. Because as I know, and Ajda, I think you know it too, that the small children can really watch also the same performances many times. And I do know that animation or some of our shows for small children, they are watched all over again and again and again. And it's just, there can be one element which is really for a special child, something really special, and then this child can watch it all the time long. And so it's really, they're really nice viewers in this age group, I think.
And if in the end it's a surprise, it's even more.
Yeah,
yeah.
Exactly.
Repetition, and then surprise.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I think we came to the end, and we have answered all the questions. I'm so grateful to both of you for this vivid sharing of your knowledge about creating program for kids, for small children, especially infants and toddlers. And no, Saška, we answered this question already, so I think we have no questions more because this was already answered. Yes, so thank you, Martina. Thank you, Ajda, for this inspiring interview with both of you. I'm thinking, well, I should have another small child to come to Puppet Theatre again. Oh, this is so beautiful. Thank you. So we came to the end, and next time our topic is going to be regarding development of listening in small children, in infants and toddlers, with Professor Katarina Zadnik, also from the Academy of Music. And I do not know how many listeners are here. That's the last question. How many listeners are here? Victor, if you're thinking about how many listeners are today with us, it's 75 listeners all together with all of us. Yeah. So thank you all for being with us. Do you have some final some final words? Also, Sunčica?
Well, I, of course, have to thank you all for being with us tonight, and to invite you for the next webinar, Listening and Responses to Sound and Music in the Earliest Childhood, presented by Katarina Zadnik, the assistant professor from the Music Academy of Ljubljana, and to say a temporary goodbye on behalf of the partnership of the BR project, supported by the Creative Europe program of the European Union. So thank you all once again, and see you in 7 days.